talking to him, one forgets that he has no hands. For him, no arms but no worries. His positive attitude towards life serves as his hands. Welcome back from the break. You're still watching Life Stories. Thank you for being a part of the show. Today we have Honorable Amos Mucunguzi from the Sanga Town Council. He's an honorable member of the council and he is the Deputy Speaker here in Chiruhura district. Amos does not have both hands and he tells his story from when he lost his hands, what life was and what life is today. Amos's story continues. Seba mukulu Amos.
Wanji nyabo.
Tubulireko abasirikale bano abaleeta ekisawo kino mwali bomu gye bakuwa. Did you see or hear about your attackers again?
That place tindagarikire kureba muntu wena. Even if
in that place, I did not see people again before the bomb went off. I was seeing soldiers surrounding me after I was alone. I didn't mention it to anyone.
Did you and your family ever try to find justice from any authority in the light of what happened to you?
But when such a bomb goes off, people will come to see what has happened. The people who gave me the bomb were soldiers, and we were civilians as we could not go anywhere to report. I tried to go through the LOCs up to the MP, and all that was to try and get some help, but nothing was done.
Kwayo abantu kugira ngo babase ku government kubakoro kine cyone cyakozwe cyone.
Kati government empya bwe yajja mbuyinza bayina engeri gye bakuyamba. Did you seek help from the new government, and if so, were you helped? Tewakyanjulira muntu yenna.
Nkagezaho naza kuraba LOCs.
I tried to go through the LOCs up to the MP, and all that was to try and get some help, but nothing was done. Therefore, I'm here because of my own thinking and being able to try and do this and that. It's just my personal efforts. The government has never helped me.
Nyobu ndi aha ndahabwa anje ahabwa amana ganje na no kutekateka kwanje tariho ikintu cyona iki government era basize kunyamba so nimbaho ahabwa anje.
What do you have to say about that?
Anyway, nyoni ntekateka ngo tikinkozere giye kurgaye ahi government eje berireho abo kuba government kunogira ngo yine kiyabasize kunyamba. Nkabire nishimirwa.
I think they have not done enough since they have never helped me. I became disabled in 1982. From that time, government has never helped me. So, I survive on my own.
Okubaho kwa magaraga ganje kuona ninye ndu struggling mbwe ninye ndu kwefo.
Kakati gwe tewekubagiza kubanga waliwo abantu abali. Don't you feel helpless? The people with disabilities, especially those I see in Kampala, seem helpless. In fact, they are beggars.
Bueno. Niwe kinagerezo okubanza kuyihumagara ganje mu life yanje. No kuza street ninga no kuzumbyaro katandika kuteganisa abantu. Nyoko nahereza kura nabaje. Amagara ganje ndukura gate kushasha.
What I've tried to get out of my mind is begging and disturbing people in the village. Like I told you, when I became well, I started looking for money. After realizing I can ride the bicycle, I knew I can get money through trading in Matoki. And that's how I started doing some farming.
Nimbasa kubaho. Niwe nyosere ningambira abarema, ntire ningambira abarema. That is advice uhabuze bwanje. Abarema bari just street. Bagende bazi
I would also like to encourage all the disabled to desist from begging. I have always advised my fellow disabled people to go back to their homes and participate in farming, trading, and others. If you can get the knowledge of going to beg, why not use the same to do something for yourself?
omuntu ni gukora kandi ukarugira ubwenge bwo kubasa kugira uti kanze kushaba nanka agusha tabasa kugira ubwenge bwo kugira uti nanye kandi ebe ngo nimbasa kwesa ubwonko bwanje ninga amagezi ganje ninga amana ganje ngire iki nafuna konkanta agenzere kuza kushabiriza street.
Amos has a beautiful marriage and more. He has a loving wife, children, and in-laws who respect him. He is a satisfied father and husband. Honorable, when did you meet your wife?
Kambugana rukumo rwenda cyenda n'itanu nabwo navugana Mrs. wanje.
I met my dear wife in 1995 when we were all still youth and agreed to make a family. As of now, we have 4 kids. They are healthy, they go to school, and they are good looking.
Was it not hard for you to convince her to have a relationship with you?
Omukyara niza kushira akaryo mushiki nkashira umushiki kandi nanye nkaba ndi umusigazi.
My wife and I didn't know anything as we were all young and had no past relationship.
Were you welcomed by your wife's family and
We learned all
relatives?
the
Were they
things as
fine
we
with their
lived
daughter
together.
getting married to you?
Twaguma kumwe kusya na hati nyoni ndeba utarabira umburemezo ubwo nabukuba akankunda namukunda twaguma kumwe.
I would help her as she helps me. We didn't face a lot of challenges since we loved each other. Though she faced some hardships, since there are things I stopped doing because she was there, and where we couldn't, we would hire people to do those that we could not manage.
Cyaba nicyetagamo umuntu ndijo sacho wakwasa kutiyambaho tukamuhereza nkaka sente tumuronda akitukora kibo
Abe wabo wa mchala wo ba kugamba ba. Were you welcomed by your wife's family and relatives? Were they fine with their daughter getting married to you?
Bwenu omukutandika kuna shikiro muka ejo babanza kutina batangara no kutangara.
At first, when I went to my wife's home, they got scared. Though they didn't know what had brought me, they thought I'd just come to visit like any other. But then, when I started talking about wanting to marry their daughter, they got scared the more. In the process, they realized I was serious about the matter. They first investigated back home what I do for a living, and by that time, I was doing business. Then they knew their daughter was not going to suffer. They allowed me and we got married. And now we have 4 children.
Ogamba bamanya nti osobola okubeerawo mu bulamu bwo nga by'olina okukola ne by'oyagala okukola osobola okubikola.
So bakareba ngu nimbasa kugezaho.
They saw I was able and that their daughter was going to be with a good, hard-working and caring man.
For those that previously held excuses for not doing something, Amos Mucunguzi's life should serve as a reason for you to get up and pursue your dreams. Because indeed, nothing is impossible when you believe. Honorable, was it easy for you to convince voters to vote for you during campaign?
Campaign is of course campaign. Numba mokunyurana nyende ntebe ikonka finally.
Of course, the campaigns were not easy. But in the end, I managed to win, and that's how I managed to be here.
Tell me about your campaigns within the council that saw you get the position of Deputy Speaker.
Okay, ati NTVG ya Deputy Speaker no jihabwa ba councillors.
Now, for the Deputy Speaker, it's the councillors who elect you. When we reached here, I showed interest in that post. So we didn't hustle a lot about it. They didn't challenge me after showing my intention. And here I am, the Deputy Speaker.
Amos's story is one of tremendous faith and courage in pursuing the things that matter most to him, irrespective. He is a beacon of light and hope in embracing ourselves without fear or prejudice. What challenges do you face today because of not having arms?
Arahanga kuyampira abana nareba abana okuborra n'ekintu kigumira.
Now, the most important thing was that God gave me children, of which it is not an easy task looking after them. What I did was to work hard to cater for all my family needs, fees for my children, medical care, eating well. So when you compare it with my income, it's not enough. So it's one of the challenges. Also not having a good looking homestead or where we live.
So ate ekyo nakyo ninkireba nk'ekizibu kandi ekindi twine amaka marungi gakureebeka gye nakyo ninda kirya ekizibu.
Amos appeals to people with disabilities to remember disability is something that ideally stops you from doing something. So if you can do things in life, even with a disability, then you are not disabled. Strength is not measured by the size of your muscles. Instead, it's measured by the amount of times you get up after being knocked down by adversity. You have come a long way. You have a family, children, and a job. What has this experience with all its changes taught you about life?
Kintu eki nkabinye nakigambe omubahango tinza kukigamba ekikunkwataho nyenka nyo nkabire ninteekateeka ngu omurema we omuntu oyine oburema aha mubiri gwe.
This thing I would want to talk about it in general, not about me alone. And that's why I think that every disabled person should always know that they are of great importance and can be of help to their community. I had started to lose hope in the early stages of disability. But now look at what has come out of self-belief. Let them not hide or consider themselves as less important. I want them to know they can be something in future or even be of great importance to the whole nation. Let them come out and help our country to move forward. I was once in self-disbelief, but when I put it aside, at least in Chirhura district, people know me, and even the surrounding districts. I also look at myself as a man of value.
Hati nyina masukungu kare omu Chirhura district nabamanya na district sezuteyire nabamanya. So tunanyireba nko omugasho omuzi.
That's good to hear, Amos. You as a representative of the people with disabilities at the council, you know the challenges faced by people with disabilities. So how can people with disabilities be helped?
So abarema bine ebizibu bingi konka ebizibu bingi ninza kubagambiraho bike. Ekyo kubanza abarema bamwe abarigiriye abatandikira kwekozesa gukora imirimo yabo.
The disabled have a lot of problems, but I will tell you a few. One, those who are already into business, they lack adequate capital to thrive in their business, so they need a hand. 2, there are those who have no wheelchairs, yet they could help them to do some work. 3, there are those that need the clutches. And 4, there is also a group of those who have children like me. Maybe they would want good education, good feeding, and a comfortable environment as they grow.
Ibyo nabyo nabivuze harimo abarema abana kuko nyina abana n'abandi abarema bina abana omukubahwera omukushoma omukurya kurungi omukubyama kubi ningasha amaju mabi ibyo nabyo tuyine omukicweka nk'abantu abina oburema ahambiri yaho.
Webale nnyo kwogeramu naffe ssebo mukulu Amos Mucunguzi. Thank you for talking to us about that part of your life and being a leader. I'm deeply sorry about what happened to you. But thank God you are here, and I believe with God's grace, it will be well with you. I hope your requests for people with disabilities shall be considered. Stay well. Mukama kume ssebo. I wish you all the best.
Kale nyabo. Mwebale kutaya
Kale, beera bulungi.
Kale nyabo.
Everybody is going through something. Just Amos's pain could be more visible than yours. But we are put in situations to build character. You could have arms, legs, muscles, name it. But with no strength and determination, you are actually disabled. A grand salute to parents and families that uplift children with disabilities. Let's all learn from them. Life can be celebrated over limitations. What happened to Amos Mucunguzi is very tragic and touching. However, it's intriguing how he has managed to make it in this competitive world. A human being is resilient, capable of getting up from the darkest of times. This is what we've seen today in the story we've had on the show. No accident and no incident can take away what you're meant to be in life. Otherwise, remember we need to make a better living for those that are less fortunate than we are. So in case you want to help our guest, Amos Mucunguzi, or other disabled people in his area, call the numbers below or come to NTV Kampala Serena Hotel. That was it on Life Stories today. I'm Justine, your host. Remember, you can still catch the show on YouTube and get more information about Life Stories on its Facebook and Twitter pages. Stay well.